Hello and welcome to the Learning Old Church Slavonic YouTube channel. My name is Austin, and in this series I'm going to be teaching you the Old Church Slavonic language. I've always been passionate about the Old Church Slavonic language, and I've always noticed how there is near to no content on YouTube for actual Old Church Slavonic. So in this series, I'm going to be teaching you Old Church Slavonic. Old Church Slavonic, the language of the Orthodox Slavs. Introduction. Before Old Church Slavonic, the Slavs were mostly illiterate pagans or early Slavic Christians. However, this changed when Prince Radoslav of Moravia asked Michael III of the Byzantine Empire, through his emissaries, to have a teacher to transcribe a language for the Slavs. This was so because they didn't use their own language in liturgy or baptism, only Greek or Latin, and these were the only written languages. Saint Cyril and Methodius. Michael III sent to Radoslav the brothers Saint Cyril and Methodius. The saints began in 862 creating the Old Church Slavonic alphabet and literary language. This language was based off the Slavic dialect in Thessaloniki. They translated liturgical services, parts of the Bible, and even wrote the poems like St. Cyril's Proglas. The Glagolitic alphabet. The alphabet that the brothers created was called the Glagolitic alphabet. Later on, their students created the easier to write and read Cyrillic alphabets, named after St. Cyril. In this series of learning Old Church Slavonic, I will be using the Cyrillic alphabet, but I will do some Glagolitic videos in the future. The Cyrillic alphabet. The Old Church Slavonic language has 23 to 24 consonants in its inventory and 18 to 20 vowels as well. Without further wait, let us dive into the alphabet. Here I have listed the Old Church Slavonic alphabet, or as Old Church Slavonic is called, Slovanska języka, Slovanska języka, literally Slavic language. The way I have laid this out is by letter, by the name of the letter, and the sound of the letter, as well as the number of the letter. Let's begin. The first letter is called Az, Az, Az. It's represented by the sound A, and it has the number 1. The second letter is called Buki, Buki, Buki. This is represented by the sound B, B, B. And Buki does not have a number. The third letter is called Vada, Vada, Vada. And it is represented by the sound V, V, V. And this has the number 2. The fourth letter is called Glagoli, Glagoli, Glagoli. And this is represented by the sound G, G, G. And this has the number 3. The next letter is called Dobro, Dobro, Dobro. This is represented by the sound D, 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 with the number 4. Next letter we have is Jest, Jest, Jest. And this is represented by the sound E, E, E. Though it can also be represented by Ye. But more in the next video on that. And this, the number of Jest, is 5. This letter is called Živate, Živate, Živate. And it is represented by the sound Ž, Ž, Ž. For the next letter, we have Zalo, Zalo, zalo. Can be written either this way or this way. It is represented by the sound z, 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 and it has the number 6. Now we have zemlya, 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 and it can be written either this way or this way, and it is represented by the number 7. This vowel is called ij, 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 and it is represented by the sound e, with the number 8. These two letters, like ij, are both pronounced e, and they are represented by the same letter. And their number is 10. This next layer is called djerv, djerv, djerv. This does not have a number, and it is represented by j, j, j. This is more commonly used specifically with Serbian, and it is still retained in Serbia today. This letter is called kako, kako, kako. It is represented by k, 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 and its number is 20. Next we have ljudje, ljudje, ljudje. It is represented by the sound l, 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 and its number is 30. Next we have myslite, myslite, myslite. It is represented by the sound m, 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 and its number is 40. Now we have the next letter, naše, naše, naše. It has the sound n, 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 and its number is 50. The next vowel we have is called on, 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 and is represented by the sound o, 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 and its number is 70. Next we have pokoj, pokoj, pokoj. It is represented by the sound p, 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 and its number is 80. Next we have ritsi, 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 and it's represented by the sound r, 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 and its number is 100. Next we have slovo, slovo, slovo. It's represented by the sound s, and its number is 200. Next we have the letter tfrito, tfrito, tfrito. It's represented by the sound te, 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 and its number is 300. Now we have uk, 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 and here's the uppercase and lowercase, but there is also an alternative lowercase, and it's represented by oo, 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 and its number is 400. Next letter is frita, frita, frita. It is represented by the sound f, fa, 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 and its number is 500. Next we have chara, 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 and it is represented by the sound ch, 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 and its number is 600. Next letter we have is omega, omega, omega. And its sound is sort of like a longer type O sound. O, O, O. And its numerical value is 800. And it can take on these two forms. This form is ota, ota, ota. And this is just omega, but it's used as the interjection O. Next we have zi, 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 and it is represented by the sound z, 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 and its value is 900. Next we have chriv, 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 and it is represented by the sound ch, 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 and its numerical value is 90. Next we have sha, sha, sha. It is represented by this sh, sh, sh. Next we have shta, 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 and it is represented by this sound sht, sht, sht. Next we have yer, 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 and this is an ultra short vowel sound. Uh, uh, uh. Now I have this unique vowel, yeri, yeri, yeri. This is represented by the sound u, u, u. Next we have yeri, yeri, yeri. It is represented by the sound I, I, I. Like yer, yeri is ultra short as well. I. Now we have ate, ate, ate. This makes the sound a, a, a. Our next letter is ya, 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 and it makes the sound ya. Next is the letter ye, 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 and it makes the sound ye. Then we have you, 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 and it makes the sound you. Now we have some nasal consonants, some nasal vowels. They go as such: ens, ens, ens. Make the sound n, 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 and the n's value is 900. Then we have yen, 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 and it makes the sound yen, yen, yen. Now we have ons, ons, ons. It makes the sound on, on, on. Now we have yons, yons, yons. This makes the sound yon, yon, yon. Then we have xi, xi, xi. This makes the sound x, 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 and its numerical value is 60. Then we have psi, 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 and its sound is represented as ps, ps, ps. Its numerical value is 700. Next we have theta or theta. Whether it is a TH sound or an F sound, I usually go with the TH sound. Theta, theta, theta. And it is either a TH sound, th, or an F sound, f. And it is represented by the number 9. Then we have Ijica, Ijica, Ijica. And the sounds representing Ijica is either E or V. E, V, E, V. This last letter is a special one. It's called Copa, Copa, Copa. And its only purpose is to represent the number 90, which Shrive also represents the number 90. So you can choose either one to represent the number 90. I usually choose Copa though. For letter combinations, when you have the omega and the te, when they are combined together, it creates ota, 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 which means from. Now we have reversed forms. These are special letters that are the exact same, but just reversed, as you can see in some manuscripts. You have the reversed zalo, the reversed u, and the reversed c. Then you have alternative forms. Here's an alternative form of ije, an alternative form of ya, an alternative form of ens, an alternative form of yen, and an alternative form of ons. And, as I mentioned earlier, copa can be alternative for the number 90. Now for our miscellaneous letters. This letter represents the palatalized dobro, and it would sound like d, d, d. It's like a small y sound at the end of a d, 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 d. Here we have a palatalized L, y, y, y. And lastly, a palatalized M, ny, ny, ny. This symbol is used in the singular root word for I, oko. These are special ligatures, essentially. This is used in a dual or plural root for the word I, ochi, ochi. This symbol right here is one of my favorites. It is used in the phrase Serafimi mnoga ochiti, or seraphim of many eyes. This is used in certain letters like dvoje or obo, which, you know, I'm going to be using all of these throughout the series, so keep that in mind, but you don't have to. You can use the default letters if you would like. This special symbol right here is used in O Christe, O Christe, O Christe. And the last one here is called neutral yer, and its only purpose is used in transcribing documents when it is hard to tell the difference between an I and a, or yere and a yer. So, essentially, when this was mostly in Russia, late medieval Russia, I believe, when they were transcribing old Church Slavonic manuscripts into Russian. When they were transcribing them, they couldn't tell sometimes if the yer that they put was yer or hier, so they would use this, and it could be either or. But anyways, thank you for watching the video, and see you in the next one where we will be discussing phonology.